Hi everyone, welcome to another Beatles Finds video. With the lockdown, COVID, and so long that my record store had been closed, and the fact that I've got so much stuff already, put all of it together, and what that means is I haven't been able to get a lot of Beatle finds. I don't do a lot of ordering online. So I managed to get together a bunch of stuff here to make a video finally. And as I go along, you'll see how I've kind of stretched it and fleshed it out. I'll get into that in a little bit. To start with, this is the number one item, I would say, out of this batch. And if some of you watched a record store video that I did recently, you will see that I got a hold again of the UK Let It Be box. And it's in pretty good shape, except for a tear over there on the box, on the side, that is the only thing that really keeps it from being exceptionally good. And just a little history about this. Any of you who've been watching me for a long time may know, several years ago, I don't know if it's 5 years ago or thereabouts, you have to search back, I did a video where I talk about getting some grails, the Beatles grails, and that one of them was a really almost like new copy of the Let It Be box. The problem was, as much as I liked it, when I actually took the insides out, the record itself had an apple on the back, the logo of Apple Records, which was actually a green apple, and it should have been a red apple or orange apple. I say it's orange. People say red. It looks more orange to me, but you know what I mean. So from day one, even though that old box that I had gotten several years ago really looked great, I never from the beginning really was 100% satisfied with it, because it, as the comments showed from a lot of people who knew their stuff, they said, well, the apple should really not be green on the back of the record. So I didn't know what the heck I had. I never felt like it was right. So I wound up eventually selling that. And now I've been wanting to get it back ever since, and here it is. So let's look at this a little more closely. It's not as great in condition wise as that other one that I talked about years ago. Now I'm going to try to stall a little bit here because it's hard to get this out. You don't want to ruin it. And the old one that I had also had the benefit that it contained the original ad, the Apple ads. So this does not. And it's not nowhere near as good condition wise, but now we have the black tray that you can see. It's got flaps on here. And inside this black tray box is where the album and the book will be housed. First, we have the album. Now, this is what I'm talking about when I said that other one did not have the proper red-orange apple. This is the record. And as you can see on the back here, the record is red, orange, take your pick. Mine was green on the other side. Even though it was pristine, it was green, and I don't understand why. And here we have, this is the inner sleeve. Now we'll take out the record itself, which is on green. And it does have the proper matrix number on here that you want. And of course, I don't remember what it is, but that was already covered when I got it. And what it was, M2 or something 2, something like that. It's the right one. All right, so there's the record. Now, of course, one of the big draws of this original UK edition box is that you have a book. And the book kind of sits in there. There's like a space for the book to fit. And here is the book. Now, when you're showing the book, one of the big problems is you don't want to crack the binding too much, and it's almost like it's not even worth looking at, because all you want to really do is just gently go like this. You can't really crack the binding too much, because the pages are known to fall out of this book. very easily. But what's in here is really wonderful pictures and a lot of great dialogue from the movie and so on. Uh, Other stuff too that's not in the movie. Just a lot of good stuff here. Just some more examples. So this is what's really sought after. Now, of course, we're waiting for them to do the 50th, which is probably going to be more like the 51st now, anniversary of the Let It Be album. And everybody's wondering, are they going to reproduce this box? Everybody wants them to reproduce the box. Now, for me, you can't really see that, George. I'm not going to pull it. That's how the binding breaks. I'm one of the few people, and you can see what I mean there with Paul, where you don't really want to pull it too far to see the face. I'm one of the few people who does not want them to reproduce this. And the reason I say that is simply because I'm rather selfish when it comes to the fact that I want this to be a rarity and a collectible. And some of you out there will know what I mean by that. I want to be able to always have collectibles. And this is not going to be so exciting anymore if you could easily get a knockoff, a 2020 or 2021 knockoff of it. What magic does the original hold anymore? So that's why I'm not always big on them reproducing stuff. Okay, that's my 2.5 cents on that one. Now, next item I want to show you, this is interesting and it's kind of funny. I said I wanted to flesh out this Beatles Finds video. I'm going to show you something that I've had hanging around here in my collection for maybe, it might have even been before I moved to this present location. It might have been when I was in my old location. And I just never got around to showing it for various reasons. But I said I wanted to flesh it out. So talking about flesh, let's talk about legs. Let's talk about girls' legs. And we're looking at Beatles Stockings. Original Beatles Stockings, Carefree. Okay, there's the original package. Beatles Stockings. And on the back, I have not taken them out of the package. It's sealed. It's never been, I believe it's never been opened. Because in the back you can see the sticker there. Rush Brown. Okay, 10. So, I know I'm not Joe Namath. I'm not going to wear these things. But there it is. Now, recently I picked up Flowers in the Dirt, Paul McCartney. A cassette tape. $3. There's the cassette. Okay. So there we have another cassette to my cassette collection. A lot of Paul stuff here out of everything in here. We have the sheet music to the song My Love. I think that's just a great picture. I mean, that's worth it alone. I really don't care about the actual music, you know, but actual sheet music, that is the song I do. I like My Love a lot. Okay. I picked up at my local flea market recently, if you saw my flea market video that I put up, I picked up this Pipes of Peace album that is made in Mexico, as you can see there. And I don't know, I really wanted to buy something because the guys that were at the flea market, the main vendor there, was a young guy who actually watches my channel, and he recognized me and said, "Hey, Mr. Mayo." So I wanted to be able to buy something, and this was the closest thing I could find. I mean, there were other good things they had, but unfortunately, as you all know who are collectors, after a while, when you collect for a long time, you have everything already. So if you have everything already, it gets difficult to find new things, and I wanted to buy something. So I bought this. I wanted to support him for supporting me, is really what it comes down to. Mutual support for each other, if you will. And just to give you an idea here, this is very thin record of what the label looks like in the song titles. All right. Finally, I picked this up. It's a Beatles Life magazine book. You know, there are always a lot of these around, but you know, I find you can't always have all of these. You know, there's so many things. You know, anybody who collects a long time knows there's so many of these types of things. You can't have everything. There's a really uncanny picture of Yoko and Sean where they look like twins. Really nice, and you obviously cannot have everything. So you have to make up your mind, what do you want? So I kind of like just pick stuff that has a lot of nice photos in it. I mean, a lot of them have nice photos, right? Can you buy everything with the photos? You know, everything that has photos in it, can you buy? But I mean, this was $1, for God's sake. I got this for $1. It's got some good pictures. It'll go on the bookshelf. How often will it be looked at? That's anybody's guess. There's so much stuff that we have in our collections and so little time in the grand scheme of things. I always love these early photos. It's a really great photo of Paul. And of course, this is a very popular picture, but I really like this one. John George and Stu Sutcliffe. Well, folks, that is I show you one with Pete Best in it. That's it. I wanted to make a Beatles Finds video, and I put some stuff together. Let's see if we get more and make a video more near the not too distant future, instead of it having to be a long time. So I'm going to end with my new saying, oh, I believe in yesterday.